Hey everybody, this is Candace Yvette with Blackwomenaware. First, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who comes by and supports my page. It really does mean a lot to me. If you all can please press the like or dislike button and subscribe, comment, or even email me if you have any suggestions, questions, or concerns. My email is always going to be in the description box. Again, thank you for visiting my channel. Hey guys, it's Candace Yvette with Blackwomenaware. So I had to jump in real quick and give this message. First, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for visiting my page. Thank you for showing support and being concerned about the injustices that Black women and children face every day in the United States. I really do appreciate your support. You don't know how much that means to me, especially because I myself am a Black woman. I'd also like to put this quick disclaimer out there. Do not come to my page victim shaming or blaming. You will be immediately blocked for that. I do not tolerate it. There is no need for it. And I'm pretty sure you knew what you were saying in the comment before you posted it. So be respectful. Many of the victims, their families come back and they visit this page. I am their advocate. This is their safe space. No disrespect will be tolerated. You all have a good day. I'm going to let you go back into the commentary. Every 5.5 hours in the United States of America, a Black woman or child is murdered. Stop killing Black women. Stop killing Black children. Hey, what's up, y'all? So in the video I did covering the murder case of Alexis Cobb, I was saying towards the end of that video, if you have a friend or a loved one who is in a domestic violence situation, and they are trying to get out, and we already know on this channel, when you try to leave those relationships, stats have already proven that that is the most dangerous time of that relationship, because the abuser is losing something they have established throughout that relationship, which is control, right? So I had somebody get in my comment section, and this is why I don't mind people commenting and saying, hey, like what they would do or what they think they would do in those situations. I'm going to read this comment, but I'm going to tell y'all why it irritates me, and I'm going to prove to y'all why I said if you have a friend or a loved one in this situation, you should not take them into your own house. Okay? So I'm going to go and read this comment to y'all. And this is going to prove to y'all why I do not want people to put themselves in harm's way or in jeopardy, you know, because most of the time, the friend of domestic violence victims have children and families of their own. So this commenter said, I've housed friends trying to get out of DV situations. My family is well known and nothing to F with. So it's nothing to me if they need help. And seriously, I'm going to have their back and my family the same. Like I was trying to tell this commentator, one, everybody is not your family and everybody don't have the resources that you have, which I can readily assume, allegedly, what you're talking about is street resources. You know what I'm saying? People who will go out there and hurt other people just off the strength of your family name. You know, I probably don't sound like I know anything from the streets, but come on now. We ain't stupid. We know what you're talking about. Everybody does not have that. One, and I'm talking to a collective of women. I don't know you, I don't know your family, and your family is not big enough to fight off every domestic violence victim's abuser. That's one. Two is this. This is why these comments irritate me, because like I said, I don't know that commentator. I don't know her family. Other domestic violence people don't know their family. And then when you listen to comments like that, what you put in the mind of domestic violence victims is, hey, let me run to my family, when that family that they're running to does not have the resources like a domestic violence shelter is. Is staying in a shelter uncomfortable? Do you feel out of place? Yes, you do. You know what I mean? It's not like home. And honestly, being a person that has escaped a domestic violence situation, you should feel uncomfortable in those shelters. Why? Because you need to be brought to the realization that this is not a game. Your life is in jeopardy, and you need to do whatever you have to do to get out of that situation and stay out. You need to pat yourself on the back the minute you get in that shelter, because one, you took the first step. And when you're escaping a domestic violence situation, that first step is the most dangerous. It's the most risky. Pat yourself on the back for that once. I congratulate you there. You know, but if you get there with your children and you looking in your baby's faces and you're just coming to the realization, especially if you're the kind of mother that I am, and you don't want anything but the best for your children, and you already probably feeling bad because they've already been exposed to so much with you being in this relationship, you need to be uncomfortable. Why? Because usually when people are uncomfortable, they start to change their situations. They don't want to go back to what they used to know, because they know if they go back, nothing is going to change. They know what's behind them. That what's behind them is why they ran in the first place. Okay? So I don't like, and I might even go back and erase that comment off my page because I don't like people getting on Blackwomenaware and putting those kind of comments down and putting in women's heads that, okay, if I'm in this situation, I should just turn to my family. Yeah, you probably do got that family with that street cred who might ain't scared to wear an orange jumpsuit and go out and do it. And that's the bomb. A lot of black women need that type of protection to where and if you do have that kind of family, one, you shouldn't even be in this kind of relationship. Let's keep it all the way greasy. If you have the kind of family that if somebody do something wrong to you, you got brothers and uncles and all that'll jump, whatever, you should not even be in a domestic violence relationship, because they should know if the strength of your family's name is that strong and nothing to play with, you should not even be in a domestic violence relationship. You can try to twist it and wean it and wane it, but you know what? You ain't the only one out here with a family who got a street background, a strong background. That name's so strong that when people hear it, they don't mess with you. I know people in the streets who they name, when you hear that last name, you don't only not fuck with their family, you don't fuck with their friends, because the friends is like family. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, if you have a friend or anybody in this situation and you claiming you got a family and off your family's name, people don't fuck with y'all, people shouldn't be allowed to fuck with your friends, and your friends nor you should ever even be in a domestic violence situation. Period. No excuse. No excuse. Now, this case I found right here is another reason. It further proves why I told people in the Alexis Cobb video, do not, if you know you don't have the means, the resources, if you know you cannot put your own family in jeopardy, refer your friend or whoever else to a shelter. You know what I'm saying? It's not you being a bad friend. It's you being a good friend, because that shelter has connections. They have social workers in those domestic violence shelters who can probably help this person further along down the way than what the fuck you could. And while they're at your house, sir or ma'am, whoever is listening to this, they probably not putting this person, their abuser, on papers. You know what I'm saying? Another situation that I'm going to go back through my restraining order video, and I'm going to start erasing people's comments when they say things like what this other commentator said that I've already addressed. And the other thing, like restraining orders don't work. Restraining orders help survivors of domestic abuse. They probably will still violate that restraining order and still stalk you, but you know how they will help you? Because when you get like me and you say, fuck it, I ain't ready to go 6 feet under, God damn it, I'm going to protect myself, I'm going to uphold my Second Amendment. Let me tell y'all something. Like I said in the restraining order video, upholding your Second Amendment and fighting a self-defense case is not easy. Kind of like Jesus said when he was referring to the rich. It's kind of like pulling a camel through your goddamn eyeball. It's hard as hell. But when you got them papers that say not only were you fighting self-defense, but you have this person on papers, and they're not supposed to be within 1,000 feet of your goddamn house. You don't only have the Ring doorbell camera footage, for example, but you have a goddamn restraining order say, hey, even though the Ring doorbell camera looks like just a stranger is walking up to my house, no, that is John Doe. He was my ex. He was my abuser. And not only do I have the Ring doorbell camera footage, but I also have this piece of paper signed by an elected official, a judge, and elected advocates, special victims unit advocates, or domestic violence abuse advocates that confirm with me, or they agree with me that the evidence that I proved was worthy, and they gave me this damn restraining order. He ain't supposed to be here because he's been proven to be violent towards myself and my children. So when I seen him at my door or place of business or wherever the fuck I was at, I upheld my Second Amendment. That's how restraining orders help. So when you in the front of the damn judge and you're the defendant in the case, the judge gonna be like, oh shit. The jury gonna be like, oh, we shouldn't even be here, because that motherfucker knew full and goddamn well not to go back over that lady's house. That's how they help. You know what I'm saying? That's how they help. But anyways, looking towards this 2004 case of Tyshika Askins. Tyshika Askins was the friend of, I believe her friend's name was Anna Siga Nicolazzi or something like that. They were friends, and Anna was the one who was in an abusive relationship. Anna was the one who was trying to move on with her life, had found out the man that she was with was toxic and dangerous, and had escaped that relationship and was trying to move on. Was from what I'm learning or from what I've watched, because it was on a TV series as well. It was on True Crime Investigations. From what I learned about the case, Anna was the one who was in the abusive relationship. Anna went out trying to, move on with her life, date somebody new. And Robert, let me see, make sure my notes right, y'all, because I be walking around doing these videos. Richard Blanks was her ex-boyfriend. So Tyshika, he showed up at Tyshika's house looking for Anna, right? And Tyshika, trying to be like the girl in my comments section with no resources, you know what I'm saying? Tyshika told Richard, hey, you know what? I got my friend back. I ain't gonna let you do nothing to my friend. Hell, if you want to find Anna, you need to go out on your own. And guess what happened to Tyshika? Trying to be that friend who had her friend back, but Tyshika had nothing, no resources. So what the fuck happened to Tyshika? Tyshika was murdered, y'all. Tyshika was murdered. And the only thing that pinned this man, because he damn near got off, they was gonna pin it on Tyshika's baby daddy, who also allegedly had a history of being abusive or rough with Tyshika. They was going to pin it on him, but the DNA evidence didn't match, so they had to let him go, right? So the only thing that they had to pin it on Richard was the DNA off an orange juice jar, which he drank out of after killing Tyshika. He went in her refrigerator like the big slob he is and drank her orange juice and had DNA evidence. Now, they had preserved this DNA evidence for a good long time, and he went to apply for the job, a job somewhere, and that evidence popped up. So basically, matter of fact, I got that wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. He had fingerprints on that orange juice jar, and they later got DNA. He had fingerprints on the orange juice jar, and when he went to apply for a job, y'all know some of these jobs will fingerprint you, especially the federal jobs. They'll fingerprint you, right? So they fingerprinted his fat, sloppy ass, and it popped up and associated with that murder, with Tyshika's murder. And the police couldn't nobody understand why until Anna came forward and said, hey, I used to date this guy in the past. I don't know what he was doing at Tyshika house, but this is the connection to all of this. So this picture right here, this mugshot of this fat, sloppy, salamander looking motherfucker, this is my proof to y'all of what the hell I was trying to tell y'all on the last video. This is why I keep pressing y'all that, hey, just because this person is a monster to your friend, don't mean they won't be a monster to you too. Don't mean they won't bring violence to your house too. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't help your friend. And some friends might think, oh, well, you being funny, you won't let me stay here because I'm in this. No, if you got a real friend, when I was in a domestic violence situation, that was the last place that I went to, was my friend's house. I didn't feel like, even if they didn't take me in, because one friend, when I left one state and I went to another state, that friend wasn't willing to let me in and let me stay with her. What did she do to help me out though? Because I did leave the state with only $60 to my name. She made sure I had money in my pocket. She made sure me and the kids had cool snacks and knickknacks while we were at the shelter. We still went to church with them on Sundays and shit. And I didn't hold no animosity or bad feelings towards her or her family, because the woman had a husband and children. I didn't hold anything against them because they didn't allow me to stay there, because I understood. If this nigga is so dangerous, he got me jumping states, the fuck I'm gonna put my friend in that kind of danger for? You see what I'm saying? This is why I told y'all, refer them to somebody else who can help them. Because you know what? While they're at that shelter, especially if it's a domestic violence or a battered woman's shelter, they want names and dates. They gonna get him on papers. And we have to get out of this cycle, especially in the black community, especially amongst black women. It's something off with our mentality. Y'all like to talk about black men all the time, but you don't want to admit where black women fall short. It's something off with our mentality, because when we're abused, most of us don't want to report the abuse. Oh, well, they be asking too many questions. That's their motherfucking job. What problem do you have with them asking questions unless you're doing something illegal yourself and you probably just don't want them to know? Oh, I don't feel like going through this process. Okay, then you end up on Black Femicide's timeline. And then I get a hold of the story. Every 8 hours get a hold of the story. And then we got to cover something that could have possibly been prevented. And I hate to be so hard on y'all, but I have to be. Y'all have to realize this is a reality out here. The women you see on these pages and on these channels, they really are dying out here. They really are dying. And some of the deaths, it could have been prevented had they taken the murderer or their abuser seriously when the nigga told them the first time, I'm not playing with you, I'ma kill you. Y'all have to take this stuff seriously. I would rather go stay at a shelter, not only to get a restraining order and get the other resources there, but because if I take things, because I see a lot of y'all like to refer domestic violence victims, oh, get your CCW, go on and get your Second Amendment. Baby, you don't know how fuck hard a damn charge of murder is to beat when you claiming the self-defense. Okay, a lot of y'all like to tell them just to get that. God damn it, if I know, and I have been at that point in my life, I'm not going to keep, breaking a record. It sounded like a broken record telling y'all I'm a domestic violence survivor myself, okay? At some point, when you've ran, especially as long as I have, you get to the point where you say, God, I'm not running no more. I'm going to uphold my Second Amendment. And if I know I'm going to uphold my Second Amendment, I'd rather get around some motherfucking strangers who could get on the witness stand and say, hey, yeah, I seen Candace Yvette there. She really was there. Not my friends, because when it's like, and what I mean by that is basically, if I go to a domestic violence shelter, the advocates and the people, the social workers who come in and out that shelter, they not willing to lose their licenses and degrees to lie for my motherfucking ass. A perfect stranger they don't know. You know what I'm saying? They can get on the stand and say, yes, Your Honor, she really was at this shelter. She tried to do everything she could. She told us about how fearful she was. She did everything she could before she upheld her Second Amendment. I have a better chance of beating that case. And that's what I'm trying to push in y'all heads. Because y'all think restraining orders, yeah, they can get the men locked up. They can make them do certain things. If you want to know what all restraining orders can do, and I suggest y'all go listen to that video I made about restraining orders, because it was even some things about restraining orders that I learned that they could do that I didn't know. And I've been through the process, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yes, it is situations to where you get these restraining orders and these men continue to come around. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand why some people say, oh, well, they don't work and all. Yes, the fuck they do, especially if you're trying to uphold that Second Amendment. Fuck around and get in front of a judge and jury and you ain't got that restraining order and you done sent somebody to meet their maker. See how hard it is to fight that case. See how hard it is to fight that case then. Okay? Y'all be safe, be alert, be aware.